Fabio Andrade writes, how about a video on juggle properties? That sounds like a pretty good idea. If you connect a normal on a mid-air opponent, you get something called an air reset. During a reset, you're fully invincible to all attacks until you land. Some normal and special moves, and just about all special moves that connect on an airborne opponent, will lead to a launch state. When a special move knocks down, it needs to be able to keep hitting a launched opponent to fully connect. For example, when the first hit of shoryuken knocks down, the second hit needs to still be able to connect on the airborne opponent. So, these moves have an inherent property to hit juggled opponents, called pursuit property or juggle potential. This system is based purely on number of hits since the juggle began, which means it doesn't matter how far apart the hits are, and it doesn't matter if you mix and match what juggles into what, as long as you haven't surpassed the juggle potential of the move you're going into. The juggle potential of the move you're going into must be lower than the number of the current juggle state. Adon's Ultra 2 is JP1, i.e. it has a juggle potential of 1, and thus it will work after one hit of juggle but not 2. A lot of moves knock down immediately without ever causing a juggle state. Some moves cause juggle potential 0, also known as float state, also known as a free juggle state, where you can juggle into anything, even normals. The only things you can't juggle into are some anti-air throws, and I think all air-to-air throws. Although, some normals have juggle potential, and will work even when a juggle state has already been established. If you've got a free juggle state, then you can often go into the full animations of some ultras, rather than the juggle versions. If you get a level 2 or level 3 focus attack on a jumping opponent, it creates a free juggle state. These happen often, catching backdash and jump away, so be ready for them. Level 1 focus is a juggle state of 1. Some moves maintain current juggle state without increasing it. Once the opponent drops far enough in a crumple state, they are considered airborne. It's the equivalent of a free juggle state. Normals will air reset, and juggle potential 0 moves will fully connect. However, here, those anti-air throws will mechanically connect, as long as the hitbox is good enough. Juggle states start counting off with the launching hit. For example, for Evil Ryu EX Tatsu, the final hit causes the knockdown, the juggle state is 1, and so moves with juggle potential 1 will connect. However, after towards forward, the first hit of the EX Tatsumaki knocks down, and the rest juggle, meaning that JP1 attacks won't connect. Tons of moves have greater juggle potential than they need just to give them increased utility. An EX Fireball needs JP1 in order to function properly, or the opponent would fall out after one hit if they were hit mid-air. Ryu's and Ken's EX Fireballs, however, have JP2, so they fully connect even in an existing juggle state of 1, thus giving them higher damage potential in juggles. Ryu's Ultra, 8 hits, needs JP7 to function, but has JP8 so you can connect the full Ultra in a JP1 situation. It looks a bit like this written out. If you start with a higher juggle state than that, you'll start losing hits of Ryu's Ultra since you're hitting JP8 before all the hits of Ultra connect. Since each move with Pursuit property only hits until it uses up its juggle potential, you can use up all of your juggle potential before you ever get to Ultra hits. So, it's good to use your hardest hits only and try to keep as many of the Ultra hits in as possible. I'm giving this one a really cursory once-over, but which moves have juggle potential is very subjective, and the ideal bread and butter combos you see already take into account the ideal damage distribution, so there's very little I can show off that demonstrates how elaborate knowledge of the juggle system leads to bonus damage. I'll leave a link for a much better, more comprehensive guide both here and in the description. My next videos are going to be about underutilized applications for supers, frame traps, space control, and auto block, in that order. As always, if you like this video and want to see more, remember to subscribe. And if you have your own question you want a video about, leave it in the comments.